hear the songs and play, while floods and floods, rocks, hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, repeat the sounding joy, repeat, repeat the sounding joy. No more ends and sorrows grow, no fear to face the ground. Let righteousness its guide show, and that love is found, as far as love is found, as far as love is found.
You may be seated. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
And welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation in Fullerton, California, an inclusive community dedicated to building a better world. My name is Reverend Robert Blair. You can call me Rob. Wherever you are zooming in, we are glad that you are here. Those of you who braved the storm to get here, we're glad you're here too. Wherever you are, we're glad that you are safe. If you're tuning in from another part of the country, we just got through with a major storm, but then the sun came out, which is very nice. UUC acknowledges that this land is situated in the original ancestral homelands of the Tongva, the Ahachiman, and the Kij peoples. May we continue to have the humility and courage to help restore what has been broken and the wisdom to live into a new solidarity with indigenous communities and the earth. Tonight is all about light. Light coming into the world. The light not only of the world, but the light that we carry. That means we're going to have lots of flames, lots of candles today. Hope that you got yours and are ready to light it up in just a few minutes as we get closer to singing Silent Night. But first, we will light the chalice and light the Advent candles and the Christ candle in the middle. We have circled through the season, seeking a change in our hearts and in our world. As these candles and the chalice lamp are transformed into light and into heat, we remind you that you have a light in you. May we be changed by the spirit of this night, and let these lessons and these stories continue to change us into this new, blessed year to come. We light the candles and chalice for the 4 Advent candles of peace, hope, joy, love, and the Christ candle on this Christmas Eve. Please join me in saying our unison affirmation. This flame affirms the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. Love is the doctrine that we share. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, thus do we covenant with one another.
It was December. I was in a new school, in a new place, and there were new teachers and new classmates, and we were living in a new house too. Also, there was no snow in Florida. That was a lot of new things at once. I didn't like it. At least I had my bicycle. It was my old bicycle, so it wasn't new. December used to be a good month. It used to have Christmas in it, but not this year. Mama had told me no Christmas this year. She never said that we didn't have any money, but I noticed there wasn't much food. Lunch was one slice of bread with a thin slice of mystery meat from a funny blue can. Mama didn't eat anything that I could see. Maybe a piece of fruit, one of the mangoes that fell off the tree in the back of the house. No Christmas. Now, Mama loved Christmas, or maybe you could say she loved Christmas trees. They were a big deal. She would make me go to bed early, and then she would stay up all night long decorating the tree. It was always a big tree, all the way up to the ceiling, and she had all the decorations in boxes. Some of them were huge glass balls, all silvery and gold, and there were smaller ones too, and angels and candy canes and little sleds and colored lights and everything you could imagine and more. When I came in on Christmas morning, it was so beautiful. Mama slept late, so I didn't get to open up presents right away, but it was okay because I loved that tree just like Mama did. But this time there wasn't going to be a tree. There wasn't going to be a Christmas, no tree, no decorations, no lights, no little sleds and angels, and no presents. Mama was going to be very upset. Me too. I thought, but I couldn't come up with any ideas. And then a week before Christmas, a small tree showed up in my homeroom at school. We had it for the week before our school break. Mrs. Clark baked cookies for us to have in homeroom before class began. She said they would give us energy to study. I don't know if they did, but sometimes I ate too. On the last day before the break, I got an idea. Maybe it was the cookies that helped, but I waited until everyone went to class, and I asked Mrs. Clark what was going to happen to the tree over the break. Well, we'll throw it out so it won't shed pine needles all over the floor. She turned away, but I didn't leave. You're going to be late, she said. Miss Clark, I said, could I have the tree at the end of the day? She was so surprised, and I could see she didn't know what to say. Please, I added. All right, yes, you can have it. Just come right after the last class. I could hardly concentrate all day, cookies or no cookies. At 3:02, I was back at homeroom to collect the tree. Mrs. Clark had taken all the tinsel, taken off all the tinsel and the few decorations, and the tree was lying across her desk. I picked it up in my arms. It was very scratchy. "Thank you so much," I said through the branches and found my way through the door to where my bicycle was waiting. Now what? I thought, how am I going to get this home? And then it came to me, I could put it across the handlebars and tie it on with the straps of my book bag. Took a couple of tries, but I finally got it balanced. I got on the bike and I headed home. But it wasn't so easy to steer. And besides, there was that dog that chased me every morning on the way to school and every afternoon on the way home. If I didn't pedal fast enough, he would bite at the hem of my skirt, and then Mama would have to sew it up. And that happened a lot. When I got to the block with the dog, I put my head down and I pedaled faster than I did ever without a Christmas tree on the handlebars. I made it, but by the time I got home, I was really out of breath. And then I had another problem. I wanted to surprise Mama. That meant I had to hide the tree for a day. I couldn't hide it in the house, and I couldn't hide it on the porch. I put it exactly behind the trunk of one of the mango trees, so if Mama looked out the back, she couldn't see it. I could get it later. Mama was pretty upset on Christmas Eve. She didn't eat. She didn't talk. Papa told her to go to bed early, and she did. I told him, I have a plan. He was surprised. I have to bring the tree in. I said, tree? He said, yes, it's outside behind the mango tree. We went back out, and sure enough, the tree was waiting. We brushed off some ants and brought it inside. I found a pail and put water in it and stood the tree up in the pail. It looked a little funny because the tree was so small, nowhere near the ceiling in height. I couldn't be bothered with that. I had work to do. Do we have any tin foil? I asked my father. Tin foil is what we called aluminum when I was growing up. Sure, he said, and brought it out for me. I started tearing it into small squares with the shiny side up, and I waddled them up into little balls. And then I started putting them on the tree, squeezing them so that they would stay on the branches. When I was done, I went to get my hair ribbons, and I used those on the tree too. It was looking like a Christmas tree, at least a little one, or a little bit like one. Go to bed, Papa said. I was tired, so that was easy. The next morning, Mama was sleeping in. I went in and woke her up. Mama, you gotta come. She was sleepy. Come on, I said, come on. She got up and let me lead her into where the tree was waiting for her. I brought Christmas, I said. I saw her eyes start to fill up, and I thought she was upset. Mama, I'm sorry. I was trying to help. She turned around and said to me, you sure did bring Christmas. It's the best. It's the best. And then she hugged me for a really Christmas.
They told me that when Jesus was born, a star appeared in the heavens above the place where the young child lay. When I was very young, I had no trouble believing wondrous things. I believed in the star. It was a wonderful miracle, part of a long ago story foretelling an uncommon life. They told me a supernova appeared in the heavens in its dying burst of fire. When I was older and believed in science and reason, I believed the story of the star explained. But I found I was unwilling to give up the star, fitting symbol for the birth of one whose uncommon life had been long remembered. The star explained became the star understood. For Jesus, for Buddha, for Zarathustra. Why not a star? Some bright star shines somewhere in the heavens each time a child is born. Who knows what it may foretell? Who knows what uncommon life may yet again unfold if we but give it a chance.
The first Noel, the angel did say, was just certain. Please join me in the spirit of meditation, followed by a minute of silence. Spirit of life and love, we come together on this sacred night to awaken ourselves to the joy of Christmas, to the miracles of life, the birth of a baby, the magic of this earth, the love of one another. We give thanks for our many blessings. We are reminded this night to share our blessings with as many people as possible, to consider that even the smallest gift, the smallest effort can make a difference in someone's life and in the world. For this is the season of giving. Christmas calls us to remember that the ordinary can become extraordinary. On this silent, holy night, let us be filled with joy, miracles, magic, hope, blessings, and love. we'll light candles this Christmas, candles of joy despite all the sadness, candles of hope where despair keeps watch, candles of courage where there is ever-present fear, candles of peace for tempest-tossed days, candles of grace to ease heavy burdens, candles of love to inspire all of my living, candles that will burn all the year long.
Merry Christmas Eve. Tonight, thousands are gathered in places of peace, in war zones, lighting candles when the night is long and the world feels so uncertain. And we gather for the same reason Mary and Joseph sought shelter. The shepherds looked up from their fields, and travelers watched the sky for signs, because we are human beings searching for light. As I get older, Christmas Eve becomes more about questions than answers. Not about the light, but about the people down on this rock we call Earth. It is about illumination, though. About the small light that appears even when nothing seems ready, nothing seems perfect, nothing is certain. The Christmas story, stripped of doctrine, is simply the story of people who carried whatever light they had into circumstances that were beyond their control. I think of the spark of those in the LGBTQ plus community who can't go home this Christmas, but they keep going. I think about those immigrants who are in detention centers instead of worshiping with their families. I think of those at CCOT in El Salvador and San Salvador who never got a hearing and are in Hua prison and being tortured. But yet, the spark, it's all it takes. That spark is the hope that we have to continue and to make this world better. Not just for some of us, but for all of us. When you think of Mary for a moment, think about this. A young teenage girl far from home, pregnant and unwed, traveling because the empire demanded it. She carried a light she didn't ask for, a calling she didn't fully understand. Joseph, working class, exhausted, his plans uprooted, he still found that spark, that light of commitment, of showing up, of doing the next right thing. The shepherds, who were the gig workers of the ancient world, barely surviving at the edges of society, carried the light of wonder when angels came to them first, not to palaces. And the Magi, astrologers, scientists of their time, carried the light of curiosity as they followed a star, not knowing where it would lead. None of these people were powerful, none influential, none famous. They were ordinary people in difficult times, carrying small, fragile lights into a world that, like ours, can be harsh, lonely, divided, and downright frightening. Tonight is, in many ways, our turn, and it feels like it's been our turn since 2016, right? Because we too are living in times that can feel overwhelming, depressing. Add your own adjective of how you feel right now. If it is joy, I hope you can get some joy tonight and tomorrow. We live with wars that seem endless, new wars on the horizon, political division, strained relationships, headlines of children being mistreated, while powerful cover it up. We live with loneliness that hides under bright decorations. We live with grief that December lights can't dissolve. Some of us come tonight joyful, some hurting, some tired, some lost, some holding the tiniest ember of belief that the world can still be good. And I can tell you, it can still be good. We have to. We cannot be apathetic. And this, tonight, the light of the world has entered, and that light of the world tells us that we are not only lights on the outside, but we have lights inside of us, in each of us. And if it only feels like a spark, even if it's dim, it is there. That's why we're here together. If you're here and you're new, let me tell you, this is almost my first year being here. Come back. This is a place where you will not be alone. It is a place that will give you space. It is a place that will give you love and encouragement, whatever you believe, however you love, whoever you love. It is safe. And there are millions of lights so bright in this congregation. And we need your light as well. In this sanctuary, in this community, in this ancient ritual of gathering in the dark to kindle our flames together. The truth is, none of us carries a blazing torch. At least not all the time. But again, most of us, all of us, are reminded that we have a spark, and that spark represents just a little hope, just a little kindness, a decision to keep caring even when the world makes caring difficult, a decision to keep showing up even when showing up costs us something, a decision to keep believing in the possibility of peace and justice and compassion and empathy, even when we can't see the path. That's what faith is. Not knowing the outcome, but knowing that we are equipped to change the world. This is the light we carry. Each one of us. And so tonight, this is a message of encouragement on a night where hope and love and peace and joy are celebrated for Christians and seekers throughout the world. So it may feel small, but small light is how the world has always been changed. Every movement towards justice began with someone saying, it does not have to be like this. We must be better. Every great act of compassion begins with someone seeing another person's pain, another person's light, and refusing to look away. Every healing begins with a simple yes to the work of repairing what has been broken. Christmas Eve reminds us of something quiet but radical. You don't need to be certain to carry that light. You only need to be willing. Think about it. Mary was not certain. Joseph wasn't certain. Shepherds weren't. Magi weren't. But they carried what they had, which was very little. Compassion, curiosity, courage. And it was enough to create a story that still glows and changes and transforms us to live a better life 2,000 years later. Tonight we honor all the ways light is carried into the world in honoring our own light. Parents who get up every morning to care for their children. Teachers who show up in the classroom with patience and faith. Activists who refuse to let justice grow cold. Neighbors who check in on one another. People who choose kindness in traffic, even in LA. Who show compassion to strangers. Forgiveness when they could choose resentment. People who show up to this congregation week after week after week to build something beautiful. And it is beautiful. And we do it together. The light you carry may seem tiny, but it is real. And it matters now more than ever. And here's the mystery. Light grows when it's shared. One candle becomes 2, and then 10, and then 100. The joy of another does not diminish yours. The hope of another strengthens yours. The courage of another sparks your own. That is the wonderful thing about being in community. When some of us are down in the dumps, others are there to lift us up or to care for us. And then when we are in the dump, they can be there for us to lift us up in a very difficult world. This is why we gather. This is why we gather on Christmas Eve, not because we all believe the same things about an ancient story, but because we can recognize ourselves in it. Or at least I hope we can tonight. A world in a need of love, ordinary people trying their best, a fragile light becoming stronger in community. In a moment, we're going to dim the lights of the sanctuary. The quiet will settle. And each of us will turn on our small candles to represent all the hope that we bring into this night. It may not seem like much, but neither did the stable. Neither did the manger. Neither did this newborn, born of a virgin, of a single woman, cradled in the arms of 2 exhausted immigrants. The story of Christmas begins with smallness, and then everything changes. When the sanctuary fills with candlelight tonight, we will sing Silent Night. But not as a lullaby. Not as a lullaby to a child of long ago, but as a prayer for ourselves and for this aching world. A prayer that peace might come, that compassion might deepen, that hope might find us again. A prayer that whatever light we carry tonight, we will keep carrying when we leave this place. And perhaps when we look around and see all these individual lights, yours, mine, ours, we will remember what the Christmas story has tried to tell us all along. That even in the deepest darkness, light has a way of being born. Even on the darkest nights, it is the darkest nights where we can see the stars brightest. And that light that we carry is enough. So tonight, on this silent night, let us carry this light into a world that so desperately needs it.
Move that up. Guitars sitting around this time of year. Brought it up. And out of tune. This tune probably needs no explanation. But I guess the thing that inspired it in some kind of way was the inevitability of this season. And over time, on the watercolor of life, other colors fade into inevitability. Better not, better not, better not, better not. He's coming. Little of this, little of that. He's taking his time and he's making you sweat. Santa Claus is coming. when you're sleeping. You don't wait till 3 or 4. Nobody I will kiss but all day, but he'll be back again.
One of the ways we celebrate the holiday season is with gifts. Tonight's offering is a gift to Pathways of Hope, which provides much-needed access to food and shelter in North Orange County. May these gifts offer good tidings of comfort and joy in these challenging times.
Sometimes the most beautiful gifts come when things don't go the way we expect, or when we choose to look in unexpected places. Have you ever had a plan that didn't work out and you had to come up with something new? Sometimes those moments of challenge give us something even better than we imagined. The song Silent Night is one of the best loved Christmas carols in the whole world. But did you know it was born out of a problem? I want to share the story of how a broken organ in a little village church became the beginning of a song that has carried hope and peace for over 200 years. Long ago, in a small village in the Austrian Alps, there was a little church in a town of Abendorf. The year was 1818. Christmas Eve had arrived, but the church was facing a problem. The organ, the heart of the music, had broken down. No matter what the organist tried, it would not play a single note. Without music, how could the Christmas service be complete? The people of Obendorf always looked forward to the carols that filled the church with warmth and joy. Father Joseph Moore, the young priest of the church, did not want Christmas to feel empty. He remembered a simple poem he had written 2 years earlier, one that spoke of peace, love, and the holy stillness of the night when Jesus was born. He carried the poem to the church musician, Franz Gruber, and asked, "Could you set these words to music? Something we can sing without the organ? Something just for guitar and voices?" Franz read the poem and nodded. By that afternoon, he had composed a gentle melody that matched the words perfectly. That evening at the Christmas Eve service, Father Joseph and Franz stood before the congregation. Father Joseph picked up his guitar, and together they sang the new carol for the very first time. Silent night, holy night. The congregation listened, then joined in. The small stone church filled with a song so peaceful, so full of help, that no one minded the silence of the broken organ. The music carried through the village that night, and soon it traveled far beyond the Alps, across countries and oceans. Today, more than 200 years later, people all over the world still sing Silent Night on Christmas Eve. It began in a little village with no working organ, but because two people chose hope instead of despair, the world received a song of peace, a gift that has never been forgotten. What I love about this story is that it reminds us that we never know where hope might come from. In the story, monks find new life for their struggling community when they begin treating one another as if each person might be the long-awaited Messiah. The shift in perspective transforms their relations, fills their lives with kindness, and brings renewal to their monastery. The story teaches that when we treat each other with dignity and care, we make space for hope to grow, and we can help bring it to life in the world. And now please turn on your candles and join me in singing Silent Night.
When the light is out, seems like everything's okay. It's in the darkness where we see each other's light. And yes, we are going through a period of darkness. But the hope The story of Christmas is when hope arrived. And that story can be the story of each day of the next year, where we wake up in the morning knowing that hope is arrived. When we go to bed at night knowing that hope will come in the morning. When we know that the light of God shone on this silent night is a light within each of us, ready to care for a very difficult world. Carry this light with you. And as we extinguish this chalice, we are reminded that we extinguish the chalice but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. Like we say, these we carry in our hearts wherever we may go. And so we say together, Amen. Shalom. Salam. Namaste. And blessed be. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.